So we're entering the cave now. They give you this little kind of coin to gain entry, so I guess we put that in there. And we just push on through. And we are in, oh that was eerie. We've got a map here. As we progress down the thing, I'll explain more of it to you. Like, I'm not a professional or a tour guide, but I'll do my best.
In the countryside.
This gentleman.
Whoa,
what was that? Oh, it was him throwing the sign over there. I thought I fucking got some activity then. It's weird to think we're taking the same route that the guys, like the lords and stuff, did as they were entering the cave to go to one of their meetings. I'll leave that there for a second if you guys want to pause it and give it a read. I'm not going to lie, it is cold and eerie down here. What the fuck was that? The man said I was alone in here. So what the fuck?
Was a minor poet and steward of the Hellfire Club. His job was to keep a record of the wine and drink.
Here we have Paul Whitehead. He was born in 1719 and died in 1774. He was Dashwood's right-hand man, a minor poet known for his provocative verses. He would often find himself in hiding during the upset his poems caused in Parliament. He served as a steward of the club. He was responsible for signing members in, maintaining inventory and food and drink, and overseeing the attire of the attendees. The men would wear monk-like robes, while the women dressed as nuns, and Dashwood himself took on the persona of the Pope. Now, when Whitehead passed, he left two things to Dashwood: £50, which was equivalent to 8,000 to 10,000 today's money, and his heart. The £50 was a deposit for a marble urn, the very one you can see displayed here.
The urn, which you see here, was then placed.
Now, over time, you can see it's been battered.
Whereupon the soldiers fired a triple salute.
Interestingly, though, the urn is empty due to Whitehead's heart being stolen in 1829. We'll get to that a bit further down the road, though.
By repeated salvos.
His burial was marked by a grand procession through the village, complete with a 3-gun salute at the mausoleum, a rare honour for someone not directly related to Dashwood, and he's one of the only non-Dashwoods to be buried in the mausoleum. If we examine the intricate carving on the urn, I don't know if I can zoom in. There we go. We notice a design that appears almost provocative, resembling two men in an embrace. This has led to speculation that Whitehead and Dashwood may have shared a deeper bond than mere friendship, potentially suggesting they were more, may have been lovers. 3 days before his passing, though, Whitehead ordered all his servants to gather the club records and destroy them in a massive bonfire at his estate. This begs the question: if the Hellfire Club had engaged in nothing scandalous, why did he go to such lengths to erase his history? It's largely due to these actions that much about the club and its underground activities remain shrouded in mystery.
Of its warm attachment to the noble founder.
So, as previously mentioned, Francis Dashwood, the club's founder, was known to have dressed as the Pope, as illustrated in this carving here, where he wears a red and striking hat. So, all these faces you'll see through the cave were carved by William Hogarth, a renowned painter of the area and close friend of Dashwood. So there's another one just here. So Sir Francis summoned the sculptor and requested that he intricately carve the faces of all the Hellfire Club members into the cave walls. As we explore further, we will encounter a striking one of Satan, which raises intriguing questions about whether he believed that the devil was part of the club. The cave system is far from ordinary. Its steady decline and winding passages suggest careful planning and intention. The banqueting hall sits to the left of the mausoleum, while the inner temple is situated 300 feet below the church's altar. They say that if you were to dig straight up, you would emerge directly beneath the altar, symbolically representing heaven and above and hell below. So now this area we are here is known as the Earl of Sandwich Circle, named after John Montagu, who was a member of the Hellfire Club. Here it is said that the men and women would temporarily part ways. It is said that the ladies would venture to the right and the men would go to the left before meeting back up on the other end, finding their partners for the evening. I'll leave this here if you guys want to give that a pause and give it a read. There's some more faces here. Look at these ones. I'm starting to feel a bit hot. It's weird, I was freezing a second ago and now I'm sweating. So here we have a list of all the members. I'll just hold it there for a second if you guys want to pause it and give it a read. Okay, so here we have remnants of a poem that was found within the caves. It speaks of secret passages, and if you ask locals who grew up in West Wycombe, they will share stories passed down through the years about tunnels that ran beneath the town. Legend has it that Sir Francis Dashwood had particularly a tunnel that connected to his estate directly to the caves, allowing him for private and discreet access. He supposedly ordered this passage to be sealed on his deathbed. So I'll leave this here if you guys want to give that a read. And if you go a little further down here, I believe the passage in question is here. So this is the rumored secret passage. While they cannot confirm or deny its existence, there have been several intriguing details that have fueled speculation. So as you can see, I don't know if my camera's going to pick up, there's holes here where they've drilled pinpoint cameras through, which have in fact confirmed there is another chamber beyond this. However, due to the chalk composition, it's too risky to remove and risk collapsing the whole caves. Not only that, if we swing over here, we have three faces. There's one there, and one there that shine directly on said area, which is confirming it even more. I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable, I'm not going to lie.
Which seats 6 people.
Kind of as if someone's watching me. My hairs are on the back of my head. And here we have the White Lady Suki. We'll get into that a bit further down when we enter the banqueting hall. If you guys want to give this a pause and a read. And we're about halfway through now. And I've not spotted the devil. I don't know where I've gone wrong. Okay, so we have now entered the banqueting hall, which is the largest man-made chalk cavern in the world. Within its expansive depths, fabric curtains used to hang where these gates are now, and you'd have beds behind them. Kind of like an intimate chamber for them to indulge in their sexual desires, I guess. As you can see, there's markings on the wall. It is said that each one of these markings was pickaxed into the wall to represent the number of people who had coitus in said areas. Now, this is also where... Oh, I just got dripped on. So, we are directly underneath the grave now. So if I get dripped on, I have been told it will be body juice. As I was saying before that drip so rudely interrupted, we are now in the banqueting chambers. This is where the tale of Suki begins. So Suki adds an intriguing layer to this cavern's history. Suki was a barmaid at the local inn, which is now known as the George and Dragon. She developed a fondness for a renowned lord from London. One fateful evening, she received a letter slipped beneath her door inviting her to meet this lord in the caves, where they could escape together. She put on her wedding dress, carrying a lantern, she ventured into the caves, drawn by voices calling her deeper. However, instead of the lord, she was met by 3 local village boys who erupted into laughter at her appearance. Furious, Suki picked up a handful of rocks and hurled them at the boys. In retaliation, they threw some rocks back and one struck her on the head. The outcome of that night varies among the tales. Some say she died instantly. left alone by the boys. Others suggest they dragged her back to the inn, while another variation claims the blow knocked her unconscious and she later succumbed to her injuries at the cave's entrance. It's been dripped on again. If you guys want to give that a read. I'm really hot again. Like, my whole spine is tingling. Okay, so now. So we are now at the triangle. Often this is said to have represented the female anatomy and has earned its name Judgment Pass. Now, legend has it that the saints went to the right and the sinners went to the left. And whoever falsely chose, they were the saint, would be judgment at a later date. So now I know I'm not a saint, so we are going to the left. I'm going to venture deeper. Oh my God. So a little poem there, a nun's poem if you guys want to pause that and give that a read. Another little face, look at that one. Hello! So I believe we are now approaching the River Styx, but before that, we have an interesting thing here. So, over here, let's talk about the most haunted ghost town, if you want to give that a pause. And here we have John Wilkes, an MP, and John Montague, the Earl of Sandwich. Two gentlemen who are often credited with the demise of the Hellfire Club. You might wonder how they accomplished this, and the answer may surprise you. It involved a rather unexpected twist involving a baboon. John Wilkes loved to travel. He went to Africa and brought back a baboon, which he dressed like the devil. He kept the creature confined in a box with a string that he could pull to release. That evening, the Earl of Sandwich was preparing to summon the devil, and the group of gentlemen gathered around the table for the occasion. As John Montague began his incantation, Wilkes pulled the string, releasing the baboon. The baboon leaped directly onto Montague. The Earl flailed in panic, desperately pleading for divine intervention, begging for God to help him, claiming that he was not nearly as wicked as some of the others members present. This plea was particularly ironic, considering he was in the midst of attempting to summon the devil. As the chaos unfolded, the other gentlemen around the table erupted with laughter, their amusement echoing throughout the room. Montague, now seething with anger, stood up and declared, "I will bring an end to you all. You will pay for this." Meanwhile, Thomas Potter had penned a scandalous poem titled An Essay of Women, notorious for its audacity. Legend has it that he represented this poem in its entirety to the House of Lords, causing quite a stir. In the aftermath of the events, John Wilkes found himself banished to France, while Dashwood faced the loss of all his parliamentary titles, leading to a disbandment of the infamous Hellfire Club. Now, just past here is the River Styx. Oh, you can actually see the baboon story here. I'll pause it. They'll probably go into more detail than I did. There you go, if you want to give that a read. And then you've got the inner temple here. And over here, kind of looks like Heath Ledger, the Joker. My camera does not give this bit justice. Now we are entering the inner temple. So we are now in the inner temple, and from here we are directly 300 feet from the altar of the church. It's really eerie in here, the echoing is insane. There's a lot more faces on the walls. Let me swing this around so you guys can see. And the air just kind of feels heavy down here. Skull there.
Where he went on building temples and improving the landscape.
And some more faces here.
Young, light, and to relieve the well-disposed from the infliction of infernal prayers.
So, I've just been wandering around aimlessly trying to find the devil. I haven't found it, but as I went back into the banqueting hall, my stomach started burning. And yeah, motherfuckers. So I'm going to try and find a member of staff now to show me the devil, and then we shall go home. How's it going, guys? We are now done with the Hellfire Caves. It's just to the right of me. I'm having a little drink, trying to stop feeling lightheaded, have a little vape, and we'll go home. I showed them my belly, they were like, fucking hell. Strangely enough though, the two people there didn't know which devil I was referring to, so they've recommended I speak to someone called Willow. So when I come back next, that's what we're going to go for. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.